Given the difficulty of snagging a new GPU these days, the NZXT Foundation PC aims to offer high FPS for popular titles in a pre-built PC without the need for a GPU. Using an AMD APU, the Ryzen 5 5600G with integrated Radeon graphics, this no assembly required tower looks the part and is a great introduction into PC gaming. So what all does the $800 Foundation PC have for the price tag? Well, let's check it out. Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Toys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and enable notifications with the bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Hey everyone, Jordan here with 9 to 5 Toys, and today we do have the NZXT Foundation PC. As the name would suggest, the NZXT Foundation PC lays the groundwork for PC gaming. Using an NZXT case, the H510 in this case, this pre-built PC has everything needed to run esports titles with plenty of room to upgrade when the money and parts availability allow. First off, let's just take a quick overview look at the specs. For CPU, we do have the AMD Ryzen 5 5600G with the integrated Radeon graphics. For the motherboard, we're using the Gigabyte B550. We have 16 gigabytes of RAM and a 500 gigabyte M.2 SSD. The Foundation PC is built around one of NZXT's H510. Available in both black and white, it's a simple case with a solid front cover, tempered glass side panel, ventilation up top, in the back, and on the bottom. NZXT has kept the design extremely clean. On the front of the case, there is a small NZXT logo near the bottom. The tempered glass panel and the other panel on the right side of the PC tower are both removable to easily add and swap and change parts, but then also to route cables. There are plenty of paths for routing, which makes it really easy to clean up the clutter. And in this pre-built NZXT Foundation PC, everything was put together very tidy. It looks really well laid out. Looking at the back for ins and outs, we have a pair of USB 2.0 ports, the antenna connections for the Wi-Fi, 2 more USB 2.0 ports, the HDMI port, a USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A port, a USB Type C port, we have a quick flash button, you have your LAN port, 2 more USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports, and then we have your standard audio ports. We have line in, line out, and mic in, but otherwise the rear of the case is very clean. You can see there are no PCI cards in here, and there's plenty of room for expandability if you do want to add something to it. NZXT is also using a 650 watt non-modular power supply. On the bottom of the case are some nice tall feet that will help it set off a desk, or God forbid you put it on carpet. Could also help to get a little bit of airflow in carpet as well, but it is definitely not recommended to put this on carpet because you want to maximize your airflow through the bottom of the case there. The build does come with some other accessories as well, so we have some different mounting hardware here. I believe this is another M.2 screw there if you want to mount something else. We have some SATA cables, and we also have an audio cable as well as some other mounting screws to mount other hardware in there. So a nice array of accessories, if you do want to change things up in there a little bit. On top of the case, there's another perforated place here to mount another cooling fan if needed, as well as a power button, a USB Type A port, a USB Type C port, and another 3.5 audio port. And as a pre-built gaming PC, it's very simple to get set up. It did come with these little expanding foam inserts to keep things safe on the inside, so you just need to remove the tempered glass side panel, which is easy to do with this one little thumb screw on the side. And then with that out, you take these out, and then you just need to plug everything in. So your peripherals and your power cable, add the little Wi-Fi antennas here, and then power it up and you're ready to go. So what really makes this computer an entry-level esports gaming machine is that CPU. A 6-core CPU, this chip packs enough power to run some of today's esports titles without a dedicated graphics card. So for titles like Fortnite, you can expect to get around 72 FPS, Valorant right around 112 FPS, League of Legends up around 185, and Grand Theft Auto 5 you can expect to get 60 FPS. And that is running the games at 1080p resolution. With a base clock speed of 3.39 GHz and boost up to 4.4 GHz, the 5600G packs a lot of power for the price, being an APU with integrated graphics. And those numbers are all what NZXT has listed up on their website, and so I did do some real-world tests, but I got very similar numbers when playing Valorant. Playing Deathmatch, I was easily staying around 100 FPS at 1080p, but I was also recording the gameplay through OBS at the same time. It was a smooth experience, and I would absolutely recommend the Foundation PC as a starting point for those looking to get into esport titles. And of course I had to try Battlefield 2042 on the Foundation PC as well, and that was a pretty rough experience. Performance while playing 128 player Breakthrough was extremely choppy, and I was on the lowest resolution with the dynamic resolution scale turned on. That really was the only way to get the frame rate somewhere playable with the dynamic resolution scale on, but even with this low resolution image, it was still pretty choppy. On a smaller mode like Rush 2042 from the Portal, where the player count was limited to 32 players, things were a little bit smoother and I was actually able to get some kills and felt like I was contributing to the team, even though the graphics still made it very hard to pick out enemies. Cinebench gave the Ryzen 5 5600G a multi-core score of 10,468 and a single-core score of 1,418, which both are pretty commendable. Of course, there are other users who are posting higher marks from the same processor, but I didn't push this chip at all to tweak the performance. This is what I got exactly from the stock setup out of the Foundation PC. Likewise, running the 3D Mark TimeSpy benchmark, the NZXT Foundation PC came out with a score of 1,332. Not surprisingly, it was beaten by even 2020 laptops with a dedicated graphics card, with like the RTX 2060. It did get a much better score than a 2020 Office laptop with integrated Intel Iris Pro graphics though. But really the best way to test performance if for gaming is to actually play games like Valorant, and to me it played very smoothly, it played very well. This is definitely a PC that you could play Valorant, League of Legends, some Grand Theft Auto 5, and some games that are just a little bit less graphically intensive. Of course, one other thing to keep in mind here with a pre-built PC is that, you still need all the other peripherals as well. So you're going to need a monitor, a keyboard, a mouse, and either speakers or a headset. But the nice thing about, saving a little bit of money on a PC like this is that you can put a little bit more money into something that might be important, like a decent monitor with a really high refresh rate, which is going to be pretty crucial for competitive FPS players. And as you can see, there's plenty of room still left inside this case. So when you are ready to start, tweaking and upgrading, kind of dipping your toe into PC customization, there's a lot of room in here that makes that very easy to do. So you can game on the Foundation PC for a while, and keep an eye on, graphics card prices and availability, and then pick one up when you do find one that is within your range. So overall, wrapping up here, the NZXT Foundation PC pre-built tower is a great way to dip your toe into PC gaming. It's great for getting started in popular esports titles, and then there's plenty of room here to grow when more GPUs or other hardware components become available to you. The case itself is really clean, the build is really great. I think they did a great job with cable management, everything looks really nice and tidy, and from everything that I've experienced so far, it just seems like a really well put together pre-built gaming PC. Alright, and that'll do it for a quick review of the NZXT Foundation Gaming PC. Let us know what you think about it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. This is Jordan with 9to5 Toys.